Brady Brook leads off in center field today. It will be Tanner Argyle hitting second and playing shortstop. Briggs Newman, the first baseman, hits third. That one's going to be lined a one-hopper to short. Evans is there. He'll throw across the diamond in time for the second out of the inning. And there's 2 outs here on the ground out. And with 2 outs, it's going to bring up the first baseman, Briggs Newman. Bracken Archibald hits cleanup. He's in the 4th spot and playing left field. Riley Daniels hits 5th at third base. Devin Argyle, the second baseman, hits 6th. Parker Harrison DHs in the 7th spot. Brennan Bradford in right field hits 8th. And then Josh Cowden rounds out the order as there Briggs Newman couldn't hold up on his swing and he goes around for a called strike. And it's no balls and a strike here. We'll get you the defense for Timpanogos here momentarily. In left field, there will be DJ Martinez. Casey Hamilton will be in center field. Blake Lasique in right. Aquinto about ready to go here with the 0-1 pitch as he winds, kicks, and delivers that one. Swung on and missed, and it's quickly 0-2 on Briggs Newman. On the infield, it's going to be Braden Millett at third. It will be Tanner Evans at short. At second base, Connor Halford. Over at first, Tyler Cornish, Jake Brooksby behind the plate, and Derek Aquinto, the pitcher, ready to go here. The 0-2 pitch on its way to Newman. That one blocked in the dirt for a ball, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Both of these clubs winning yesterday. Spanish Fork going on the road and upsetting Murray 7-5. Timpanogos won at home against Bonneville 5-0. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The pitch on its way home, swung on and fouled back to the screen. We'll have another 1-2 pitch coming here to Briggs Newman. Nonetheless, thank you for joining us. It is a bright, sunshine-filled day here at Timpanogos High School. A little bit different than the weather we had throughout the Salt Lake Valley yesterday and down into southern Utah County. That ball's going to be lifted foul, and it'll be 1-2 there. Briggs Newman will stand in. The winner of this one will move into the quarterfinals. They don't have to play again until next Tuesday, May 24th. That would be a 7 o'clock contest against the winner, as that one blocked in front of the dirt there and kind of bounces into Brooksby, and will even the count up at 2-2. The winner doesn't have to play till the 24th. They'll play a 7 p.m. game up at Brent Brown Ballpark at Utah Valley University. They'll get the winner of Corner Canyon and Salem Hills. So an opportunity for the Dons to potentially see a Region 8 opponent in that matchup. And that one's going to be bounced to second, going up the middle and going underneath the glove of Halford into right center field. And Briggs Newman's aboard with a 2-out base hit. That just went right back up through the box, and the Dons have their first base runner of the afternoon, and that will bring up Bracken Archibald.
Brings up left fielder Bracken Archibald.
A loss for these two teams today will put them in the bottom part of the bracket, the 1-loss section, and they'll actually play on Monday. They'll play an 11 a.m. game Monday morning against the winner of East or Springville. So either way, there's a chance the Dons see a familiar opponent in that game. The first pitch to Archibald gets in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1. Spanish Fork wearing the black tops that say Dons across the chest and gray pants. Timpanogos in the blue tops and white pants that say T-Wolves across the chest. No balls and a strike to count. Newman gets his lead at first. The throw's coming over, and Newman dives straight back. He kind of saw Aquinto kind of bring up the left foot, kind of hold it straight up in the air. Generally, when that happens, you'll see the pitcher throw over to first base. Aquinto ready to go from the windup, comes in. That one's going to be lifted out into center field. Casey Hamilton gets back under it, reaches up, and makes the catch. And the top of the first inning for the Dons is over. But the Dons do get the one hit, the single by Briggs Newman. They strand him at first. We've played a half inning here from Timpanogos High School. No score, and Timpanogos coming up here. Let's take a moment here to thank our sponsors for helping make this broadcast or many other broadcasts possible this season. We want to thank the Car Guys for the Car Guys Instant Replay, Lance Wilson State Farm for the Lance Wilson State Farm RBI, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing for a Triple T Triple, MVP Sports for the MVP of the game, which will be named at the conclusion of our broadcast here this afternoon, Two Jacks Pizza for a Two Jacks Double, and our good friends here at SFCN for the SFCN Built for Speed Stolen Base. A packed house this afternoon, people filling up pretty much most of the grandstand areas and a lot of the other places where you can put chairs here at Timpanogos High School. Of course, For the T-Wolves, this is their final home game of the season. After today, there will be no more home site games that will be played throughout 4A classification for baseball. It will be all played on neutral sites up at Utah Valley University. To kind of give you an idea, we're going to keep on following the Maple Mountain Woods Cross game as well. We'll kind of get some scores throughout the day there as well. We'll try to keep you updated too throughout the rest of the state and Region 8. We'll try specifically to make sure we can get everything updated on the Springville East game and also the Corner Canyon Salem Hills matchup, as that one is the two matchups that have really good effect here on this one. So Hayden Rainey, the left-hander, will go to work here for Spanish Fork. Getting the start, he'll go after Casey Hamilton, the leadoff man here for Timpanogos. We'll go ahead and give you the Timpanogos starting lineup here momentarily. Casey Hamilton, the center fielder, standing in to lead it off. Hayden Rainey, the left-hander, takes a long look into Josh Cowden in the first pitch, low, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. You can hear the dugout for Timpanogos just kind of erupt there. They're excited for this one. Rainey ready to go once again. On the mound here, the 1-0 pitch on its way home. That one on the inside corner for ball 2, and it's 2 balls and no strikes on the Timpanogos leadoff hitter. Casey Hamilton leads off. It will be Tanner Evans, the shortstop, hitting second. Tyler Cornish at first base hits third. Connor Halford, the second baseman, will hit in the cleanup spot. That one's fouled away down the third base line. It's 2 balls and a strike. Braden Millett, the third baseman, hits in the 5 spot, followed by DJ Martinez in left field, hits 6th. Blake Lasike in right field hitting 7th. Derek Aquinto, the pitcher, hitting 8th, and that one's going to be hit by Hamilton out into right field, going back, getting under it, and making the catch is Bradford, and there's 1 away.
Stepping up now for the T-Wolves will be number
So with
2,
1 gone, that brings up the shortstop, Tanner Evans. Oh, we should round out the order. Jake Brooksby, the catcher, hits 9th today for Timpanogos. So here's Tanner Evans, the shortstop, to stand in with 1 gone as we play this winner's bracket game. Both these teams know their season won't come to an end today, but they want to stay at the top part of the bracket as much as they can. First pitch on its way, misses low and for a ball. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Defensively for the Dons, Bracken Archibald in left field. It's Brady Brook in center, and it's Brendan Bradford in right field. On the infield, here's the 1-0 pitch comes in, misses high with the fastball. Riley Daniels at third, Tanner Argyle at short, Devin Argyle over at second, Briggs Newman at first, and Josh Cowden behind the plate with Hayden Rainey, the left-hander, winding and coming home. The 2-0 pitch gets in there just around knee-high for a called strike, and it's 2-1 on Tanner Evans. Timpanogos played really good baseball throughout the season. Some people thought they were the best team at the state at one point, and that one gets in there just on the outside corner, and it evens the count up at 2-2. They took a setback in their region play, and they got swept by their crosstown rival Orem, and that was their only 3 region losses of the year. Region 7 playing pretty well heading into this tournament with Corner Canyon, Orem, and Timpanogos. 3 teams still in the top part of their bracket, the same as Region 8. Here's the 2-2 pitch, checked his swing, but the pitch was high and the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes here on Tanner Evans. So it is kind of interesting to see, had Springville won outside of that Maple Mountain game, there would have been 3 matchups between Region 8 and Region 7. That pitch misses low, ball 4, and Tanner Evans is aboard here with 1 gone in the first inning. Here comes Tyler Cornish. So we'll see how Timpanogos plays this. In batting practice today, they did a whole kind of segment on just bunting, just laying the bunt down. So we'll see here how the Timberwolves want to play this here. In the bottom of the first inning, no score. Hayden Rainey, the left-hander, will work from the stretch for the first time. Tanner and Devin Argyle will be in double play depth up the middle. Pitch comes in, and that one hits the inside corner for a called strike, and it's 0-1 on Tyler Cornish. The backdrop, the stadium faces out towards the Wasatch Front. Nice location for baseball. No balls and a strike to count, and the throw will come over, and back standing over at first is Tanner Evans. So we've seen both pitchers, especially with a runner on at first base. We saw Quinto, the left-hander, throw over to first. Now we see Hayden Rainey also following suit, making sure that runner stays close. Tanner Evans has a pretty good lead, and the throw will come over again. He dives back safely as the throw came to the right side of the bag, and easily getting back there was Tanner Evans. Riley Daniels playing about even with the grass there at third base. No balls and a strike. The pitch comes in. That ball's hit well out into right center field. That's going to roll all the way to the wall. Over to cut it off is Brady Brook. Getting the hold at sign at third is Tanner Evans. And in there with a double is Tyler Cornish. And right now the T-Wolves threatening here early with a couple of men in scoring position after Tyler Cornish hits one pretty well out to right field. And now that's going to bring up Connor Halford, the second baseman. So Hayden Rainey will be tested here for the first time this afternoon against this Timberwolves team to see here if he can get a clutch out. One run early on doesn't necessarily kill you here if you're Spanish Fork, but Derek Aquinto has been very tough all year long, so you don't want to give up too many runs here in the early going of the ball game. Rainey will take a look at a Josh Cowden behind home plate and get the sign. First pitch comes in, breaking ball, misses, and it's 1 ball and no strikes to count on Connor Halford. One ball, no strikes to count. Runners get their leads. Evans at third and Cornish out at second base. The pitch comes in. That one's nice. Just sits right there knee high over the middle for a called strike and evens the count up here at 1-1. Timpanogos doesn't necessarily have to get a hit here to get that run home. They can get a ground ball up the middle with the infield mostly playing back for the Dons. They will probably exchange the run for the out. That pitch misses, ball 2, and it's 2 balls and a strike on Connor Halford. Braden Millett on deck here for Timpanogos. Bottom of the first inning, no score, 1 out. The T-Wolves threatening though with runners on at second and third. Rainey takes a look in, comes home, breaking ball right off the plate again. It's 2 balls and a strike. That might have been the changeup from Rainey. Three and 1 the count. Rainey has first base open, so a walk doesn't necessarily hurt him here. That's going to be a ground ball to short. Tanner Argyle thought about coming home. He'll throw over to first. They'll get the out there. That will bring home, though, Tanner Evans. It's 1-0 Timpanogos. Moving down to third is Tyler Cornish. So Halford does his job there, gets the run home from third. And now with 2 outs, it's Braden Millett. And really, if you're Spanish Fork, you're an out away from getting out with giving up minimal damage here in the first inning. That split second, you kind of saw Tanner Argyle look like he was thinking about coming home with the throw. Pitches to be swung on, popped up. This is coming over. And it's going to hit just over us here. It's no balls and a strike to Braden Millett. There's one where we were able to look up, saw the ball come in, and glad I read it right and noticed it was going well over us here. Not a lot of foul territory here. Once you get beyond the stands to kind of the, I'm not sure exactly, there's some trees right behind us. Once again, Millett swings and pops that one up foul, and it's 0-2 on Braden Millett. I didn't bring my gloves, so I hope a couple of my counterparts sitting to my right here, I sure hope that one of them brought their glove or ready to make a catch anyway. And they're shaking their head at me, so no balls and 2 strikes to count, ready to throw. The pitch comes in, and that one misses. It looks like outside for a ball. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes to count on Braden Millett. Spanish Fork will move the infield back. They're just looking for an out any way they can get it here. We'll get him out of the inning. Time called here. Millett stands out of the box here as our home plate umpire will take a second just to clean off home plate. Brush it off, make sure he can see where the plate is when he calls balls and strikes. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count here. Rainey takes a look in, gets the sign, comes in. That one just missing. Guess I'm probably a little bit outside. Looked to be pretty close, maybe a little high as well. But it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tomorrow afternoon we'll be down in Spanish Fork. The Spanish Fork softball team taking on Bountiful in the second round of the 4A softball tournament. Pitch comes in, checks his swing, and he held up ball 3, and the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes here on Braden Millett. So Millett, after getting those 2 early strikes on fouling pitches off, has found a way to work the count back into his favor. Rainey comes in, 3-2, swung out and missed. Strike 30, and Hayden Rainey has his first strikeout of the ball game. But the T-Wolves get the lead early on. A RBI ground out from Connor Halford gives Timpanogos a 1-0 lead. You're watching high school baseball here on Spanish Fork 17.
In Spanish Fork, see your good neighbor State Farm agent Lance Wilson for your insurance and financial needs.
Hi, welcome to 2 Jack's Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to 2 Jack's Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet? Need a new car or truck? The Car Guys has the best selection of used vehicles at the best prices in Spanish Fork. The Car Guys know their automobiles to get you the best car for your needs and your budget. The Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork. You know Triple T Heating and Cooling, but did you know that Triple T does plumbing? From tankless hot water, soft water, and reverse osmosis drinking water systems, right down to that leaky faucet. Triple T sure does plumbing. Call Triple T at 801-798-7711 today. MVP Sports is the #1 source for sporting goods in Spanish Fork. Football, soccer, all the fall sports, we've got you covered. Check out our new custom t-shirt builder. Design at home and we'll build it for you. MVP Sports, 72 North Main in Spanish Fork.
Top of the second inning here at Timpanogos High School as Riley Daniels stands in and swings and misses at the first pitch from Derek Aquinto, and it's no balls and a strike on Daniels. Aquinto ready to go again and comes in, swung out and missed, and it's now no balls and 2 strikes on Daniels. It'll be Riley Daniels, Devin Argyle, Parker Harrison, 5, 6, and 7 coming up here in the second for the Dons. 1-0 Timpanogos. Aquinto comes in, the 0-2 pitch, misses high with the fastball. That one right about letter high on Daniels, and it'll be 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Spanish Fork trying to, right here as you can hear the Spanish Fork dugout, trying to give Riley Daniels some encouragement. The 1-2 pitch, that one's fouled away. That one was low, but Daniels able to make contact and foul it away. Or at least from my vantage point, that looked low. I'm sure it looked a lot different there to Riley Daniels as he was able to make contact and foul it away. Salem Hills and Corner Canyon, no score, end of a half inning down in Salem. Pitch misses, and it evens the count up now. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Riley Daniels. So that's an important one because the winner of this one gets the winner of that Corner Canyon Salem Hills game Tuesday in the quarterfinals. That one misses low, ball 3. The count runs full, 3-2 on Riley Daniels. So Daniels right now just trying to work his way aboard for the Dons, looking to try to see if they can't get an early base runner. They had a runner on. Briggs Newman had a single in the first, but then got stranded. The pitch is going to be fouled away by Daniels down the line. It will hit off the fence there. And it'll be 3 balls and 2 strikes on Daniels again. So the Dons have had some pretty good at-bats today. They've really been making Derek Aquinto work and make him throw some pitches. Lots of outfield here at T-Wolf Field. And the 3-2 pitch comes, called, strike 3 on the outside corner. And that one just froze Riley Daniels, the second strikeout for Aquinto. And there's 1 out here in the second inning for Devin Argyle. It's hard to see when you got Aquinto with a good fastball, and then he just painted the corner with a breaking pitch right on the outside corner. It's hard as a hitter to try to catch up when you're expecting fastball, and then you get the curveball. So here's Devin Argyle, the Don's second baseman. First pitch comes inside and low for a ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes to count. Infield playing back here for Timpanogos. I kind of wonder if you might not see Daniels. That one's in there. Devin Argyle, as he takes a called strike, evens the count up. I'm kind of surprised with Braden Millett playing back at third that maybe we wouldn't see Devin Argyle try to just lay down a bunt with the left-handed pitcher Aquinto. When he goes to field it, he'd have to kind of rotate all the way around. Pitch comes in, misses inside for ball 2. It's 2 balls and a strike on Devin Argyle. That might be something we'll see a little bit later on this afternoon, especially if the Dons get a base runner or 2 on the base paths. 2-1 pitch on its way, and that one missing inside ball 3. It's 3 balls and a strike. Aquinto feeling there that he was getting a little squeeze there, it looks like, just from the way he grabs the baseball. You can kind of tell a little bit of his frustration there. And now it's going to be a 3-ball, 1-strike count here. The pitch comes to Devin Argyle, and that one in there for a called strike, similar to the pitch before, but this one a little bit more back over the plate for a called strike. And it's 3-2 on Devin Argyle. Aquinto ready to go as he kicks and delivers with a 3-2 pitch. That one's hit well out to left field. DJ Martinez going back. He's going to stop, and he watches it fly away for a home run, and we're tied at 1. DJ Martinez took about 3 steps in left field and then just stopped. And I wondered how well it was hit. I knew it was hit well off the bat, but it got all the way out, and we're tied at 1 here in the second. Devin Argyle hitting the home run on a ball here. I'm sure we'll see a Car Guys instant replay on the home run. That ball was hit well out to left field and got enough out to tie the ball game at 1. And here's Parker Harrison. I gave the Dons kind of some new life as we see it there. Martinez just stopped. That ball was hit well off the bat. Here's Parker Harrison hitting that one well down the right field line. Getting over there though and making the catch is Lasike. And there's 2 away. So with 2 down, it's 2 down in the inning.
Brendan Bradford.
It's going to be Brendan Bradford, the right fielder for Spanish Fork. So some new life from that Dons dugout after Devin Argyle ties it with a home run to left. And the first pitch to Bradford's a breaking ball that stays high. It's 1 ball and no strikes the count. If the inning should continue, it would be Josh Cowden. He's got the shin guards on, still in the on-deck circle. Derek Aquinto here looks like wants a new baseball, and home plate umpire needs some more baseballs ran out to him here, as well as trying to make sure here they keep plenty of baseballs on hand. In the major leagues, I think it's 80 baseballs they have prepared, ready to go into play. I'm not sure at the high school level how many they have ready to go. 1 ball and no strikes the count. Aquinto kicks and comes in. The bunt show, that one's going to be fouled straight back to the screen. It evens the count up at 1-1. So we saw Brendan Bradford with the third baseman, Braden Millett, playing a little bit further back. We saw Bradford try to lay down the bunt. Braden Millett now will play about even with the cut of the grass there at third. Aquinto ready to go here with the 1-1 pitch. The wind and the delivery comes inside in tight ball 2. It's 2 balls and a strike on Brendan Bradford. Another game here in the city of Orem as the Olympus Titans are down, taking on the Orem Tigers. That one fouled back and will even the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes here on Brendan Bradford. That one going on just on the other side of us here, just down the road. Aquinto ready to go here, the 2-2 pitch, breaking ball, misses ball 3, and the count runs full 3-2 here on Brendan Bradford. So once again, we see Spanish Fork really making Aquinto work here in the second inning. The 3-2 pitch on its way home is going to be hit hard, but fouled down the line. And well, that one went right off the netting there above the first base dugout, and it will be 3-2 once again. So Spanish Fork having some really good at-bats here. Nothing's really come easy for Derek Aquinto here through an inning and 2/3. The 3-2 pitch on its way. Breaking ball called, strike 3. Bradford, I think, thought that was ball 4, started heading to first, and he got rung up by our home plate umpire. That's a Quinto's third strikeout, but the big blast comes on Devin Argyle's home run to left field. We're tied at 1 as we head to the bottom of the second inning here at Timpanogos High School. Let's go take a moment here on SFCN 17, and let's take a moment to thank our sponsors for making this broadcast possible today. We want to thank the Spanish Fork Community Network, SFCN Built for Speed Stolen Base. We want to thank the Car Guys for the Car Guys Instant Replay, Lance Wilson State Farm for the Lance Wilson State Farm Great RBI, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing for a Triple T Triple, MVP Sports for the MVP of the game, which will be named at the conclusion of our broadcast today, and our good friends at 2 Jacks Pizza for the 2 Jacks Double. So stay tuned throughout the rest of our ball game this afternoon as you'll see our sponsors mentioned at various times. We thank them. We could not do what we're doing here today without their help. So we thank them so much here for helping out with these broadcasts. We head to the bottom of the second inning. Hayden Rainey will go back to work against DJ Martinez, Blake Lasique, and Derek Aquinto. It's going to be 6, 7, and 8 coming up here for Timpanogos, and Hayden Rainey now takes the mound with a tie ball game. Timpanogos scoring back in the first inning. Tanner Evans had a walk, and then it was Tyler Cornish's double that brought Tanner Evans down to third base, and then Connor Halford would knock him in on a ground out. So here's DJ Martinez, and the lefty versus lefty matchup. Martinez rolls the first one over to Briggs Newman, but he can't handle the baseball. It took kind of a tough hop on him, and he just couldn't quite get the glove down. And the runner reaches. DJ Martinez is aboard. Not sure if that's going to be ruled a hit or an error because of that in-between hop. It really was a difficult play for Briggs Newman to make. But nonetheless, Timpanogos has a base runner on here, and now you bring up Blake Lasique. This is a Timpanogos team. They're not very big into small ball. They're a little more into swinging the bats here. Hayden Rainey will come from the stretch, breaking pitch, blocked in the dirt, it's going to skip away, and slapping his hands together was DJ Martinez, knowing that he could have probably advanced to second on that. A bad read. It kind of kicked away from Josh Cowden at the last minute. So a break there for the Spanish Fork Dons. 1 ball and no strikes. They count on Blake Lasique. The throw over to first, and Martinez is back standing. Double play depth up the middle of Tanner and Devin Argyle. Outfield playing all pretty much straight up. There's a lot of room in the outfield. It's similar to Nelson Field, I feel like, in how much outfield ground there is, as the bunt is shown and it's fouled away, and we'll even the count up at 1 ball and 1 strike. A great crowd here on hand today. I think every spot here on the bleachers and all the way throughout the stadium is full, and some of the kind of the more chair areas where you can set a lawn chair out, they're going maybe 4 or 5 rows deep over on the first base side. But if you couldn't make it up here to Timpanogos, we thank you for joining us here today, live on Spanish Fork 17. It's playoff baseball. Spanish Fork taking on Timpanogos. Pickoff move, and back safely standing is DJ Martinez. So it's a 1 ball, 1 strike count here on Blake Lasique. Nobody out, bottom of the second inning. Now some defensive positioning and alignment coming here. Briggs Newman called time and went to kind of give some of the alignment here. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Rainey ready to go, comes inside, checked his swing, and they're gonna say a ball, but we'll see. I didn't see an appeal. Josh Cowden now wants to appeal down to second. They will. No, he does not, says our second base umpire. And it's 2 balls and a strike. That's a difficult thing, because oftentimes it's kind of the rule of thumb is how far across the plate it goes, but a lot of times a lot of umpires say, well, it's if you meant to swing or not, and apparently there our home plate umpire thought Lasique wasn't meaning to swing. That pitch blocked in the dirt by Cowden. He quickly pops up, and DJ Martinez has to stay at first base, but it's a 3-1 count here to Blake Lasique. Winner of this one plays Tuesday night, 7 p.m. in the quarterfinals up at Brett Brown Ballpark. Whoever drops this one has an elimination game bright and early Monday morning. The next pitch misses high, ball 4. And so Timpanogos now has a couple of runners on base for Derek Aquinto. So we'll see here if the bunt sign's on. I would imagine here, but nobody out in first and second, we would see Timpanogos lay down the bunt. So we'll see how Spanish Fork decides to play this. Riley Daniels playing right on the edge of the grass. If you get a hard enough bunt right back to Hayden Rainey or something, potentially you could get the lead runner at third. Rainey from the stretch, the bunt showed, pulls it back and takes it for a ball. It's 1-0 on the Timpanogos pitcher. Lefty versus lefty matchup, pitcher against pitcher, as Aquinto tries to help his own cause here in the bottom of the second inning. DJ Martinez at second, Blake Lasike over at first. That bunt's going to be popped up and fouled. It's going to hit off the netting, or kind of off the fence here, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. You'll see a lot of places, you'll see kind of like a netting. This is a, there is a netting eventually when you get up to kind of the top, but for the most part, this is just a regular kind of metal fence. I know there's another name for that style of fence, but nonetheless it's metal. Chain link fences. That one's going to be bunted right back, and Rainey's only play is first. They'll get the out there, so Timpanogos able to lay down the bunt, moves the runners both into scoring position for Jake Brooksby. So Devin Argyle does a nice job of getting over and getting the out over at first base. Great job by Argyle to cover the bag. And now with 1 out, Timpanogos in a very similar position. In the bottom of the first inning, they were in the same position, second and third, with 1 out in the inning. They found a way to get a ground out that brought home a run, as Spanish Fork will once again concede the run for the out, and the 9-hole hitter Brooksby coming up for the T-Wolves. A strikeout situation here for Hayden Rainey. If you could get a strikeout, then with 2 outs, you could just move everybody back and you could get out of this jam. Rainey will take a step, will now step off the mound here. Good speed on the base pass for Timpanogos. So a base hit here potentially could score 2. Rainey working from the stretch, takes a look out at second base, comes in, and the pitch blocked in the dirt by Josh Cowden. That pitch didn't quite get there once again. It kind of bounced right out in front of home plate. From where we are here on the first base side, you can kind of see where the ball's landed before. You can kind of see some spots in the dirt, and it's just hitting right out in front of kind of the batter's box area. So it's not missing by a ton, but Cowden having to work some extra duty, making sure the ball stays in front of him there. Once again, the pitch in the dirt, but swung out and missed by Brooksby, and it's 1-1. Briggs Newman playing in about a step or so off the infield grass. Riley Daniels playing right there as well. He's about a step onto the grass at third. If he can get one hit at the corners, the run would probably have to hold at third. That ball's going to be lined out in the gap. That's going to score 2. Coming around third, Martinez will score. Lasike right behind him. Heading up into second is Jake Brooksby, and Timpanogos has regained the lead at 3-1 on a 2-run double by Jake Brooksby. The ball was hit well out into the gap, and there was just nothing that Bracken Archibald or Brady Brook out there in center could do to get to that baseball. And right there, we're going to get a run route on second base. It's going to be number 8, Casey Cloward, will come in and run for Jake Brooksby. And we go back to the top of the Timpanogos lineup here. So here's Casey Hamilton, 0 for 1. He flew out in the first to Bradford in right field for Spanish Fork. Now Rainey will take a step off the mound here, and we'll look the runner Cloward back to second base. Bottom of the second inning, 3-1 Timpanogos. Pitch comes in, breaking ball, misses low, and it's 1 ball and no strikes to count here on Casey Hamilton. Spanish Fork here with 1 out in the inning, they move the infield back. Daniels playing about even with the bag at third. The pitch comes in once again low, ball 2, and it's 2-0. I'm not sure if Hayden Rainey's been trying to pitch low just to try to see if he can get the Timpanogos hitters to pitch. Generally, if you were in an 0-2 count, you would see a lot of pitches maybe low to try to see if you can't get Timpanogos to swing, but not in a situation here where, you know, a 1-0 count, and now I think we'll have a visit out to the mound by the Spanish Fork pitching coach to kind of make sure everything's going good with Hayden Rainey. So 2 runs in for Timpanogos here. If you're just joining us, it was Timpanogos took an early 1-0 lead back in the bottom of the first inning. Devin Argyle, though, tied the ball game in the top half here of the second, hitting a home run to left field. We were tied at 1, but then Timpanogos comes right back, and DJ Martinez led off with a single. What I ruled a single, some might have ruled that an error, depending on which side of the fence you sit on here at Timpanogos High School, but nonetheless, Martinez reached. Blake Lasike would walk. Quinto laid down the sacrifice bunt. That moved both runners up. And then Jake Brooksby just a moment ago lined one to left center field. That brought home a pair of runs. So 3-1 Timpanogos. Hayden Rainey back to work in a 2-0 count to Casey Hamilton. Pitch comes in. Hamilton swings, hits this one well. Brady Brook getting back on it, reaches up, makes the catch up against the warning track. Tagging and going down to third is Cloward. And so 2 outs in the inning. A nice job by Brady Brook in center field to run it down. And there's 2 outs in the inning for Tanner Evans.
Stepping in now.
So now if you're Spanish Fork, you're in a good situation to get out of it with minimal damage done, as Tanner Evans, who doesn't have an official at-bat today, walked in his only other at-bat. They came last inning, and then he came around to score the 1 run for Timpanogos. First pitch to Rainey, misses low, or first pitch from Rainey, misses low, and it's 1 ball and no strikes the count. Between innings, I'll try to see if I can get any updated scores here from throughout the region. That pitch line into left field, base hit. Coming in to score from third is Cloward, and an RBI single for Evans, and it's 4-1 T-Wolves here in the second inning.
Hit by Evans, scores a run. Brings up to the plate now, number
so we
18,
know that
Cornish.
Timpanogos, they have played really well, only lost the 3 ball games this year to Orem, so we know they can swing the bats, and they've come out swinging the bats here in the early going, and with 2 outs, the inning will continue for Tyler Cornish. Cornish doubled back in the first inning. First pitch, swinging, lines one right to third. Riley Daniels gloves it, and the inning is over. But Timpanogos does the damage. They score 3, a 2-run double by Jake Brooksby gets 2 in. At the end of 2, Timpanogos 4, Spanish Fork 1. You're watching high school baseball here on Spanish Fork 17.
In Spanish Fork, see your good neighbor State Farm agent Lance Wilson for your insurance and financial needs.
Hi, welcome to 2 Jack's Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to 2 Jack's Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork, or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet? Need a new car or truck? The Car Guys has the best selection of used vehicles at the best prices in Spanish Fork. The Car Guys know their automobiles to get you the best car for your needs and your budget. The Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork. You know Triple T Heating and Cooling, but did you know that Triple T does plumbing? From tankless hot water, soft water, and reverse osmosis drinking water systems, right down to that leaky faucet. Triple T sure does plumbing. Call Triple T at 801-798-7711 today. MVP Sports is the #1 source for sporting goods in Spanish Fork. Football, soccer, all the fall sports, we've got you covered. Check out our new custom t-shirt builder. Design at home and we'll build it for you. MVP Sports, 72 North Main in Spanish Fork.
Back here at Timpanogos High School, top of the third inning, Josh Cowden stands in, swings first pitch, grounds on right to Tanner Evans, who's up with it. He'll throw to first in time for the first out of the inning. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Derek Aquinto and Timpanogos. And with 1 down, it's back to the top of the lineup and Brady Brook. Brook went down on strike, swung at a pitch that got away from Jake Brooksby, and Brooksby fired down to first to complete the strikeout. Top of the second inning, Salem, Corner Canyon up 1-0 on Salem Hills. So something to keep in mind, Corner Canyon, Salem Hills winner gets the winner of this one in the quarters. Brooks swings first pitch, lines this one right to first on the ground. Underhands to Aquinto for the second out of the inning. So another hard hit ball just hit right at somebody. And there's 2 outs here in the third for Tanner Argyle. And that's the hard part with baseball. Sometimes you hit the ball as hard as you can as a hitter, but you just hit it right at somebody. And with 2 down, Tanner Argyle steps up. Argyle's 0 for 1, grounded out to short back in the first inning. Derek Aquinto, the left-hander, will get ready to go back to work as he fires in the first pitch. Argyle swings, pops this one up. It's going to go foul, and it's 0-1. To kind of give you an idea, 3 pitches, 3 swings for Spanish Fork. The Dons have been aggressive at the plate. No balls and a strike the count. Aquinto working, and he comes in the 0-1 pitch. Bounced over to third. Charging it is Braden Millett. He'll throw across the diamond in time, and the side is retired. So the Dons go down in order in the top of the inning, 1, 2, 3. We head to the bottom. We head to the bottom of the third inning here at Timpanogos. It's 4-1. T-Wolves on top. Hayden Rainey will go back to work. Let's take a moment here to thank our sponsors here on Spanish Fork 17. We want to thank the Car Guys for the Car Guys Instant Replay, Lance Wilson State Farm for the Lance Wilson State Farm RBI, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing for a Triple T Triple, MVP Sports for the MVP of the game, which will be named at the conclusion of our broadcast this afternoon. 2 Jacks Pizza for a 2 Jacks double, and our friends here at SFCN for the SFCN Built for Speed Stolen Base. So we thank them for helping make this broadcast possible. Just kind of outlining the schedule here as we take a look at next week. We know regardless, both of these teams will continue to advance till next week. Springville's playing East right now, that game being played at Springville High. The winner of that one would meet the loser of this ball game. That would be 11 a.m. on Monday morning at Brent Brown Ballpark. Then an opportunity to win that, you would play once on Thursday. You'd have to play twice on Wednesday to make the state semifinals next Thursday. So it's a long road if you end up getting into that bottom part of the bracket. We saw Maple Mountain last year here on Spanish Fork 17 do that same kind of ride, but it was difficult when you got into that Wednesday-Thursday situation as to how many pitchers you had available. Swinging first pitch, that one's going to be fouled to the screen by Connor Halford, and it's no balls and a strike. It'll be Connor Halford, Braden Millett, DJ Martinez coming up here for Timpanogos. No balls and a strike to count. Pitch comes inside, and kind of backing away from it there was Halford, and he takes it inside. The count evens up a 1-1. Bright sunshine-filled day here in Orem, Utah. 1-1 the count. Pitch comes in, blocked low in the dirt, ball 2, and it's 2 balls and a strike. The count here on Connor Halford. Halford 0 for 1. He grounded out to Tanner Argyle, but did get the RBI on the ground out in the first inning to get Timpanogos the early 1-0 lead. That one's going to be lined right to Tanner Argyle again, who gloves it for the first out of the third. So with 1 gone, here's Braden Millett. Millett is 0 for 1, went down on strikes to end the first inning for Timpanogos. That's got to feel good if you're Hayden Rainey to get the first out of the inning. He got the first out back in the first, but then in the second, DJ Martinez led it off, who's on deck for Timpanogos, led it off with a single. First pitch on its way to Millett is swung on and hit right back up the middle. Backhanded by Devin Argyle, who will throw him out at first. So Spanish Fork showing, hey, we can get some quick outs too. And right there, a nice backhanded play by Devin Argyle. That's a much more difficult play than I think Devin Argyle made it look right there. Very nice with the glove there just to make the backhanded kind of grab and then make the good throw over to first. So with 2 down, it's going to bring up DJ Martinez. Martinez 1 for 1, singled in his first at bat, and the pitch misses high for a ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes to count. Martinez saw a ball earlier in the ball game hit by Devin Argyle go up over his head over the fence for a solo home run. That one blocked in the dirt and kind of kicks away from Cowden. It'll be 2-0 the count. 4-1 Timpanogos, bottom of the third inning in this winner's bracket second round state playoff game. 2-0 pitch comes in. Martinez swings, hits this one past Briggs Newman down the line. Taking the turn, going around first is Martinez. He's going for two. The throw in on a hop, gets past Devin Argyle, but alertly right there to back it up is Bracken Archibald. And if he wasn't there, that might have given Martinez an extra base, but nonetheless, he's there with a double, and I think the day for Hayden Rainey is going to come to an end as Coach Casey Nelson comes out of the dugout, and I think Hayden Rainey's day is going to come to an end. We'll see. We don't see the bullpen here because it's right on the other side of the dugout, so I'm not sure as to who's warming up down in the pen or who's coming in, but it's going to be, I believe that's Nate Kiesel, number 11, coming in, and it is. I believe that's 11. The Spanish Fork wearing their black uniforms that have the numbers, and it is 11. I'm have that confirmed. So Nate Kiesel will come in the ball game here. He'll get Blake Lasike with 2 outs and a runner on at second base here in the third. So Hayden Rainey tonight, or this afternoon, goes 2 2/3 of an inning, but gives up 5 hits on the day. 4 runs, all of which I believe will be earned runs. Walked 2 and struck out 1 on the day. One of those earned runs, correct that. Yeah, all of them I believe will be earned runs. Of course, all those stats unofficial as Nate Kiesel will begin his warm-up tosses for Spanish Fork, as the Dons look to try to see if they can do what they did last year. Spanish Fork, the defending 4A state champions, won throughout the top part of the bracket last year. And the nice thing about winning throughout the top part of the bracket is first off, you don't have to play as many games as the bottom part of the bracket, but the other good part is you get to the state championship, you only have to win once. The bottom part of the bracket, once we get to the state championship, has to beat the top part twice. So Blake Lasike is going to come into the batter's box here. Nate Kiesel's ready to go on the mound. As the runner on at second base, DJ Martinez does belong to Hayden Rainey, so that could potentially increase if the run comes in to score. That would increase Rainey's stat line for the day. Kiesel ready to go from the stretch, and his first pitch about to come in. Breaking ball in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1. So Kiesel will have started in here. No balls and a strike here on Lasike. Lasike ready to go in the batter's box. The runner, DJ Martinez, gets his lead at second. Ready to go, the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball, misses low, and the count evens up now. 1 ball and 1 strike. Brady Brook playing Lasike a little bit more towards right center field. As that ball gets out into the gap, there's going to be, again, lots of room to run if you're Timpanogos. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count. Breaking ball in there just right about knee high for a called strike, and it's quickly 1 ball and 2 strikes. The count here on Blake Lasike. Kiesel looking to try to see if he can't get out of it right here. The Dons in the fourth will have Newman, Archibald, Daniels, 3, 4, and 5 coming up. The 1-2 pitch blocked in the dirt, and the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Martinez gets his lead. Tanner and Devin Argyle, neither one playing real close to the bag. Martinez free to kind of move around there at second base. Pitch comes in, Lasike swings and misses. Cowden will apply the tag, and the inning is over. So the first strikeout for Nate Kiesel. We head to the fourth after the break. It's Timpanogos 4, Spanish Fork 1. You're watching the 2016 Class 4A Utah State Baseball Tournament here on Spanish Fork 17.
In Spanish Fork, see your good neighbor State Farm agent Lance Wilson for your insurance and financial needs.
Hi, welcome to 2 Jacks Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to 2 Jacks Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet? Need a new car or truck? The Car Guys has the best selection of used vehicles at the best prices in Spanish Fork. The Car Guys know their automobiles to get you the best car for your needs and your budget. The Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork. You know Triple T Heating and Cooling, but did you know that Triple T does plumbing? From tankless hot water, soft water, and reverse osmosis drinking water systems, right down to that leaky faucet. Triple T sure does plumbing. Call Triple T at 801-798-7711 today. MVP Sports is the #1 source for sporting goods in Spanish Fork. Football, soccer, all the fall sports, we've got you covered. Check out our new custom t-shirt builder. Design at home and we'll build it for you. MVP Sports, 72 North Main in Spanish Fork.
Briggs Newman to stand in to lead it off here for Spanish Fork. The Dons have some work to do as the first pitch gets in there at the knees for a called strike, and it's 0-1 the count. No balls and a strike here. Derek Aquinto back to work here for Timpanogos. Pitch comes in, that one missing low, and evens the count up here at 1-1. Briggs Newman had a single back in the first inning, then it was stranded on at first base. Pitch on its way home, and that one's checked his swing, but it misses. And Newman ahead in the count, now 2-1. Two balls and one strike to count. Aquinto working here as he kicks and delivers. Newman takes this one inside, ball 3, and it's 3-1. End of 2 up at Woods Cross. Maple Mountain leading the Wildcats 1-0. And then Corner Canyon, as they head to the bottom of the third in Salem, it's still 1-0 Corner Canyon. 3-1 pitch on its way in there for a called strike, and it's 3-2. So it'll be Newman, Bracken Archibald, and then Riley Daniels coming up, 3, 4, and 5 for Spanish Fork. Aquinto working, ready to go. The wind and the delivery, the 3-2 pitch is going to be swung on, grounded back up the middle for a base hit. Newman has his second hit of the ball game, and Spanish Fork has something going with the leadoff man on here in the 4th inning.
The hit brings up.
So now here comes Bracken Archibald. Archibald, though, for one, he flew out to center field, and Casey Hamilton in his first at-bat today. The best thing to do here if you're Spanish Fork is try to get 1 or 2 back here in the 4th. So that way, as we get into the later innings of this one, it's not trying to make up 5, 6 runs. First pitch misses in there for a called strike, and I should say only 3 because 5 or 6 runs would imply that Timpanogos would add a couple more, but nonetheless, it's 0-1 the count here on Bracken Archibald. Running over at first base is Briggs Newman, being held on by Tyler Cornish at first base. Big hole on the right side as Connor Halford playing more up the middle. No balls and a strike to count as Aquinto comes in. That one's going to be bounced right back over to short. Evans going to get there, goes to second, and they got him, they're going to say. Kind of a delayed call by our base umpire, but they're going to say that the throw did beat him, so Archibald reaches on the fielder's choice. Newman retired, and now with 1 down, here's Riley Daniels. Daniels went down on strikes in his first at-bat this afternoon. Daniels pitched yesterday in the win over Murray for the Dons. I would imagine we'll see him as a pickoff move, diving back safely is Archibald. I would imagine, regardless whether the Dons are playing Monday morning in the elimination game or whether they're playing on Tuesday evening in the quarterfinals, I would imagine either way we're going to see Riley Daniels throw that game. Archibald breaking for second, the throwdown not in time, and Bracken Archibald has an SFCN built for speed stolen base right there as Archibald able to find a way to take second. So now a base hit away. Spanish Fork could add one here and cut that lead to 4-2. Aquinto takes a long look in here to Jake Brooksby behind home plate. And time called as now Daniels wants to take a step out of the batter's box. Top of the 4th inning here at Timpanogos. It's 4-1 T-Wolves on top. 1-0 pitch on its way, breaking ball in there for a called strike. Daniels kind of turns the home plate umpire. I don't think he was a huge fan of that call, as it did maybe look, it was right around belt high, so kind of in that close range where it can kind of go either way. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Aquinto takes a look at second. Spinning, here comes the throw, and they got him at second base. The throw was right on the money to Tanner Evans, who snuck in behind Archibald, and they pick him off second base. And that erases the base runner, and with 2 outs, Riley Daniels will stand in. The dangerous part about that is now you just erase the runner. 1-1 pitch on its way home as Daniels swings through it. It's 1-2. And kind of a momentum shifter in a sense in baseball, because now if you were Spanish Fork, you had 1 out, runner on second base, a base hit you could potentially score a run on, but now for the Built for Speed stolen base. So we do want to take a moment here to thank our sponsors for such a wonderful job they do. The Car Guys do a great job with our Car Guys Instant Replay. Lance Wilson State Farm for the Lance Wilson State Farm Great RBI. Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing for the Triple T Triple. MVP Sports for the MVP of the game. 2 Jacks Pizza for a 2 Jacks Double. And then also SFCN Built for Speed for the FSCN Built for Speed stolen base. So bottom of the 4th inning, starting here at Timpanogos, and 8, 9, and 1 coming up here for the T-Wolves. Derek Aquinto is going to stand in to lead it off. Aquinto has done a good job on the mound today for Timpanogos. Has really pitched well, but his first at-bat did his job and laid down the sacrifice bunt to move a couple of men into scoring position for the T-Wolves. Nate Kiesel starts the inning. First pitch misses low, and it's blocked in the dirt for a ball. It's 1 ball and no strikes. It will be Aquinto, Brooksby, and Hamilton. 8, 9, and 1 coming up here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And the pitch on its way home, blocked, and that one gets all the way to the backstop. It's quickly 2-0 here on Aquinto. Outfield playing straight away for the Dons here, infield playing straight up as well. Ready to go, the 2-0 pitch, the kick and the delivery comes. Turning and kind of twisting out of the way of that one was Aquinto, and it's 3 balls and no strikes to count. If Aquinto reaches, I would imagine we would see a runner over at first base for Aquinto here. 3-0 pitch on its way home. Misses low, ball 4, and the leadoff man on for Timpanogos after Kiesel allows leadoff walk.
Stepping up for the T-Wolves will be number 4, Jake Brooksby.
So here's Jake Brooksby. Brooksby was at the plate, and he had a rocket to left center field. That brought home a pair of T-Wolves back in that 3-run second inning. And we will have a runner coming in here for the T-Wolves. It's going to be number 16, Connor Iyer, coming in to run. So it'll be Iyer in for Aquinto. It's the head coach for Timpanogos in that third base coach's box, wanting a quick word here with his hitter, Jake Brooksby. Brooksby hitting in the 9th spot will put Kiesel from the stretch. First pitch to Brooksby is low, as coming in hard at third was Briggs Newman there. or from first, I mean, and Newman was charging pretty hard there, but the pitch was taken for a ball. It's 1-0. Bottom of the fourth inning here from Timpanogos High School on a bright, sunny day. Great day for baseball. Not too warm, not too cold. 1-0 pitch comes in. Fastball right on the outside corner, and Brooksby, I think, started to swing at that and then decided to hold up, and he takes a called strike, and it's 1-1 the count. Packed stands here at Timpanogos High School, kind of standing room only at this point here. Runner gets his lead over at first. Iyer, fastball, misses high, and it's 2 balls and a strike. You can tell that Spanish Fork is thinking Brooksby's going to lay down the bump. Briggs Newman has broke for home a couple of times from first base to try to field the baseball, and Connor Iyer doesn't seem to be getting a big lead over at first base to think about stealing a bag. Newman holding the runner on, and the pitch comes in. Bunt laid down, right down the first baseline. Fielded by the pitcher, Kiesel, throws over to Devin Argyle for the first out of the inning. Connor Iyer does move up to second, though, and there's one away here in the fourth.
Moves the runner to second base and brings up.
So with one down, back to the top of the lineup again for Timpanogos and Casey Hamilton. Hamilton for Timpanogos having a tough day, 0 for 2. Couple of flyouts, one out to Bradford, the last time out to Brady Brook in center. So with one down, Kiesel will go to work here. Kiesel takes a look at the runner at second. First pitch to Hamilton, in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1. That high strike to this afternoon seems to be going in favor of the pitchers most times. That belt high and maybe just a little bit above the belt going in favor of the pitcher. No balls and a strike. Kiesel comes home. That pitch is going to be hit well by Hamilton out to right center field. Running it down is Brady Brook in right center field for the second out of the inning. Heading down to third on tagging up is Connor Iyer. And there's 2 outs. We go back to the top of the lineup. Here's Tanner Evans. Evans has reached base in both his at-bats. Walked and came around to score in the first inning. Had an RBI single for Timpanogos in the second inning. Kiesel trying to keep Timpanogos off the board here in the fourth. That's really where, for Spanish Fork, they really need to get a couple of runs offensively, but the bigger help right now would be keeping those runs off the board. Kiesel ready to go, and the pitch comes in. Fastball, misses inside for a ball. It's 1-0 the count here on Tanner Evans. Tyler Cornish, who's 1 for 2's on deck, and then Connor Halford is 0 for 2. He would hit third. 1-0 the count. Kiesel ready to go, comes in. That one misses low and away, and it's 2-0 the count here on Tanner Evans. Kiesel bent over, has the glove sitting on his left knee. Now comes set on the mound, ready to go. Pitch, Evans takes that one, and kind of the breaking ball look, and that one hits the inside corner, and it's 2-1. Winner of this one getting Corner Canyon or Salem Hills coming up on Tuesday in the state quarterfinals. The loser of this one gets Springville or East on Monday morning. That pitch from off the plate, ball 3, and the count runs to 3 balls and a strike here on Tanner Evans. Tomorrow afternoon, 4 p.m. first pitch from Spanish Fork. The Spanish Fork softball team in action. They'll be taking on Bountiful in the second round of the state tournament. The breaking pitch in there, called strike 2, and the count goes full 3-2. The Lady Dawn softball team is, I believe they're something like 26-3. They are having a fantastic year as they also are trying to defend a 4A state championship. Winning their first game, I believe 10-0 yesterday. Kiesel from the stretch comes in. That one swung out and missed. It's going to skip away from Cowden. He'll have to throw to first. He'll fire down the throw. Did get to Briggs Newman as a throw kind of almost pulled him, but the inning is over. We head to the 5th inning after the break. Timpanogos 4, Spanish Fork 1. You're watching high school baseball here on SFCN 17.
In Spanish Fork, see your good neighbor State Farm agent Lance Wilson for your insurance and financial needs.
Hi, welcome to Two Jacks Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to Two Jacks Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet? Need a new car or truck? The Car Guys has the best selection of used vehicles at the best prices in Spanish Fork. The Car Guys know their automobiles to get you the best car for your needs and your budget. The Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork. You know Triple T Heating and Cooling, but did you know that Triple T does plumbing? From tankless hot water, soft water, and reverse osmosis drinking water systems, right down to that leaky faucet. Triple T sure does plumbing. Call Triple T at 801-798-7711 today. MVP Sports is the #1 source for sporting goods in Spanish Fork. Football, soccer, all the fall sports, we've got you covered. Check out our new custom t-shirt builder. Design at home and we'll build it for you. MVP Sports, 72 North Main in Spanish Fork.
Top of the 5th inning here at Timpanogos High School. Right now, it's a 4-1 lead for the host team, Timpanogos, as it's great to be with everybody. Second round of the Utah State Baseball Tournament. I'm Ryan Pickens here at Timpanogos High School, where right now it's been Devin Argyle will stand in and lead it off. Argyle responsible for the only run of the ball game for the Dons as he fouls the first pitch off. Back in the 2nd inning, Devin Argyle hit one over the left field fence for a almost seemed like a no-doubt home run. DJ Martinez took about 5 steps and kind of turned and just watched the baseball fly away. No balls and a strike here. Devin Argyle, Parker Harrison, Brendan Bradford coming up, 6, 7, and 8 for Spanish Fork. 0-1 pitch on its way is going to be fouled back to the screen here, and it's 0-2 on Argyle. Couple of scores. The Salem Hills Skyhawks added 3 in the bottom of the 3rd inning. They have now a 3-1 lead over Corner Canyon. And then Maple Mountain loaded the bases in the top of the 3rd inning with nobody out, but Woods Cross found a way out of it, so it remains 1-0 Golden Eagles. That one's going to be fouled away. It hits off the net just past the first base dugout and rolls back into play. So Region 8 having so far through the 3 games that we've seen, 2 teams winning. Spanish Fork still has some time to pull a rally together as we play here in the top of the 5th inning. The 0-2 pitch coming from Aquinto. That one blocked in the dirt. They're going to say it hit Devin Argyle, though, and he'll go down to first base.
Ladies and gentlemen, an announcement, please. We have 2 young girls who are missing from our stands. 2 little girls, about 5 years old, that are missing. If you would look around. And
so Parker Harrison, the designated hitter of the right fielder, flew out to right field.
Little girls, and we would ask that you keep your eyes open and watch for these little girls.
In his only at bat of the ball game here, an important stadium announcement I wanted to pay quick attention to. Parker Harrison will come up here he flew out to right field. Devin Argyle, who was hit by a pitch, is the runner over at first base. Derek Aquinto will work here from the stretch. The pitch comes inside and high for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. And something really the Dons need to just do is string together a couple of base runners. If they can find a way to get a hit or 2, that could really kind of change things, just to get a couple of runners in scoring position here in the 5th inning. We'll see how they play everything with no outs in the top of the 5th inning. Aquinto comes in. That one misses low and away, ball 2, and it's 2-0. The Dons in the 4th inning really went up swinging at the first pitch. And when they did, they got a base hit from Briggs Newman, but then just kind of struggled the rest of the way. But here in the 5th inning, working the count a little bit more against Aquinto. Throw over, back standing is Devin Argyle. Aquinto, not a very fast move over to first, and you can pretty much tell when he's going to throw over. Parker Harrison gets his lead over at first base. Snap throw over, and Argyle gets back. The ball was thrown to the back side of the base runner there, and the first baseman, Cornish, having to kind of reach around the foot of Devin Argyle to make sure he got the baseball. And when it did, it kind of landed right at the base of first base, and Cornish was trying to find the baseball. It was right in front of him. 2 balls and no strikes the count. The pitch on its way. It's swung on and fouled back to the screen. It's 2-1 here on Parker Harrison. (4-1) Timpanogos here in the 5th. Don's trying to rally from behind. Argyle gets his lead over up first. Aquinto takes a look over. Ready to go. The pitch on its way home. Inside, called, strike 2, and the count evens up at 2-2. Playing in a couple of steps is Braden Millett at third. He's playing just about a step off the grass or so. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. And the wind and the delivery comes in. That one's going to be grounded to first. Cornish goes to Evans for 1. The throw back to the bag in time for the 3-6-3 double play. And there's 2 outs here in the 5th inning.
2 outs. Stepping up now will be number
So with 2 down, it's going to be Brendan Bradford.
Bradford
struck out swinging back in the 2nd inning. Will come up here. That's one of those, again, a momentum plays. We saw Bracken Archibald get picked off in the 4th inning on at second base. They kind of swung the momentum of the inning, and that tough double play didn't help anything. First pitch on its way, misses for a ball, and it's 1-0 the count here to Brendan Bradford. Josh Cowden in the on-deck circle if the inning should continue for Spanish Fork, as the throw back to Aquinto got past him, and Tanner Evans was right there to back it up at shortstop. Aquinto doesn't come off the mound very much as he's ready set to go. Comes inside, fastball, misses. It's 2 balls and no strikes to count. And that's not a bad thing. Being a quick worker as a pitcher, you get in a rhythm, it can work out pretty well for you. The 2-0 pitch on its way. It's going to be swung out by Bradford, popped up. That's going to go right over towards the dugout there. It'll be 2-1. So two balls and a strike to count on Brendan Bradford. He'll look down, try to get some direction from his third base coach. Quinto trying to get out of the inning. 2-1 pitch on its way. That one's hit well down the right field line. Is it going to stay fair or is it going to go foul? Bradford takes the turn. It's going to stay fair. He's going to chug into second base. He's going to slide in there with a slide-in double, and he's got himself a 2-jacks double with 2 gone in the inning, and now Josh Cowden will hit. That's a huge, nice hit to get if you're Brendan Bradford, just right down the right field line, able to hurry up into second base. And that's how important the double play is for Timpanogos, because if they don't turn the double play, that potentially gets a run to third base, or that could have actually even scored a run for Spanish Fork. So now with 2 down, Josh Cowden comes to the plate. He's 0 for 1 today. He's bounced out to short in his only other at-bat on the afternoon. Aquinto takes a look on at second base. He's been sharp this afternoon. Breaking ball comes inside and breaks over the inside corner for a called strike. And it's 0-1 on Josh Cowden. Just getting something back here in the 5th would be huge for Spanish Fork. Aquinto takes a look out at the runner again. And the pitch on its way, the 0-1 pitch. That one's going to be fouled away. And it's going to be 0-2 the count here on Josh Cowden. Braden Millett, the third baseman, playing a little more close to the bag. There's a hole on the left side of the infield, and also a pretty big hole on the right side with Connor Halford. Now he'll fill that hole as he's playing close to the bag. Time called here, and Cowden will take a step out of the batter's box here momentarily for the Dons. Spanish Fork, regardless, a chance they could see a Region 8 opponent on Monday or Tuesday. That one blocked in the dirt. Bradford will hold though, and it's 1-2. A win right now if everything would hold up as it is. If Spanish Fork came from behind, Salem Hills would be their opponent Tuesday at night at 7 p.m. If Spanish Fork doesn't find a way to come back, they'll play an 11 a.m. elimination game against either Springville or East. So if the Red Devils were to beat the Leopards, then we'd have a Region 8 game there at the state tournament. That one blocked in the dirt by Brooksby, and it's 2-2. That's nothing really new. We saw a lot of them last year. The final 3 teams out of Region 8 all resided within Spanish Fork and Salem, so we got used to seeing quite a bit of Maple Mountain, Salem, and Spanish Fork. That's a problem we'd like to see again. Quinto working from the stretch here, takes a look out at second base. The pitch on its way home, and that one misses ball 3. The count runs full, 3-2 the count here on Josh Cowden. Brady Brook in the on-deck circle if the inning should continue past Cowden. Bradford gets his lead out there second base as Quinto tries to come here with a 3-2 pitch. On its way, breaking ball, misses ball 4. Josh Cowden draws a walk. And now 2 men on base here, and the Dons might have their biggest threat of the afternoon, and we'll see Jackson Higginson, number 1, come in to run over at first base for Cowden.
The order, number 2, Brady Brook.
And now a huge opportunity for Brady Brook. Brook is 0 for 2, had a good at-bat though in the first. Saw a lot of pitches, fouled a few off, but eventually swung and missed at a pitch in the dirt that went for strike 3. Also grounded out to first base. He hit a ball hard though, right at Tyler Cornish last time. First pitch misses for a ball, 1-0. Tanner Argyle getting loose on deck. No action in the Timpanogos bullpen as Quinto looks to kind of be struggling here a little bit in the 5th inning. The Dons with a couple of base runners here. Bradford on at second. Down at first base is is Jackson Higginson running for Josh Cowden. 1-0 pitch comes in, breaks low and away, ball 2, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. And now we'll have a visit here out to the mound here to kind of try to settle down Derek Quinto here in the top of the 5th inning. 4-1 in favor of Timpanogos here on Spanish Fork 17. Thanks for joining us here for some high school playoff baseball as the final day of home site play throughout the 4A classification. The rest of the way, you're playing at Utah Valley University down the street in Orem. I guess down the street and over a ways from where we're at here in North Orem. And now the conference over here on the mound, so it'll be 2 balls and no strikes on Brady Brook. Derek Quinto having another conversation out there with Tanner Evans, the shortstop, who will now head back to his shortstop position. 2 balls and no strikes, 2 down, top of the 5th inning. Dons threatening Brady Brook at the plate. Quinto kicks and comes in. The 2-0 pitch misses, ball 3. It's 3 balls and no strikes. And Quinto now in danger of loading the bases for Tanner Argyle. Argyle's 0 for 2 this afternoon. But nothing would be a better opportunity than to see if you couldn't get a couple of runs back here. Even to get something back here in the 5th would be huge. Time called as Bradford gets back to second base. Higginson gets his lead over at first, not being held on by Cornish. I would imagine Brady Brook could be taking all the way here. 3-0 pitch, over for a called strike. And the count moves to 3-1 here on Brady Brook. Working from the stretch, Quinto looks into Jake Brooksby behind home plate. Gets the sign, and now Quinto will step off. The first time we've really seen Derek Quinto really work slow today. Most of the time he's been in a pretty good rhythm, but has kind of lost command of his pitches here in the inning. 3-1 pitch on its way home. In there at the knees for a called strike, and the count runs full on Brady Brook. Quinto now 1 strike away from getting out of the inning. Runners get their lead here momentarily, as it looks like a conversation is going on here between between the catcher, and that was Brooksby trying to, I guess, align everybody. Count goes full. Runners will be taking off. Pickoff move. Higginson dives back safely. So Higginson with very good speed, something to keep an eye on. If Brook was to put one in the gap, Higginson would have an opportunity to potentially score from first. Cornish playing behind him, had to sneak back in behind the runner to get back to the first base bag. 3 balls and 2 strikes the count. The kick and the delivery on its way. Foul back to the screen, and it's 3-2. Brady Brook able to stay alive. You have Spanish Fork fans cheering on Brady Brook. Timpanogos looking for Derek Quinto to come up big here in the 5th. Runners get their leads again. Quinto from the stretch. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The 3-2 pitch on its way home. Runners take off. Brook fouls it away again. Back onto the tennis courts here at Timpanogos High, and we'll have another 3-2 pitch coming. Brady Brook has done this a couple of times in his at-bats today, where he's really taken some time to work the count to get into a good hitter's count here. 3 balls and 2 strikes the count. Higginson gets his lead at first. Bradford gets his lead at second. The 3-2 pitch. Swung on, bounced over to second. It's going to be fielded. The throw to first is low, and Cornish scoops it out of the first base, and the inning comes to an end. So Spanish Fork had their best threat of the day, but they'll strand a couple of runs here in the 5th inning. They get the 1 hit, the double by Bradford. They leave 2 on. The Dons have only left 3 base runners on this entire ball game. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning here. It's 4-1 Timpanogos. Let's take a moment here. Let's thank our sponsors here on Spanish Fork 17 as they sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" here at the ballpark. Let's thank our sponsors. We want to thank the Car Guys for the Car Guys Instant Replay. Lance Wilson State Farm for the Lance Wilson State Farm RBI. Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. MVP Sports for the MVP of the game. 2 Jacks Pizza for the 2 Jacks Double. And SFCM Built for Speed for the SFCM Built for Speed Stolen Base. So without the help of our sponsors, we couldn't bring broadcasts like these this afternoon to you. So we are greatly appreciative of all of our sponsors for making this broadcast possible here. As we stand and stretch, Nate Kiesel will go back to work against Tyler Cornish, Connor Halford, and Braden Millett here in the inning.
Hey, thanks for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great game here today. Don't forget
to kind of give you an idea right now, they've played 4 complete here from Salem, and they're tied at 3 between Salem and Corner Canyon. So Salem Hills potentially in a little bit of trouble to a Corner Canyon team that finished out of Region 7. They were the number 3 seed behind Orem and then this Timpanogos team. So Region 7 had a really good year. There was a lot of talk that Region 8 and Region 7 had this great baseball tradition that a lot of the schools from up north wanted to try to come in and win some games in the state tournament. Cornish swings first pitch, hits this one deep, going back, and it's off the glove of Archibald at the track. Going into second, here comes Cornish. The relay throw not in time, and Tyler Cornish into second to start the inning. Now, we'll see here how, I'm not sure, we don't have a hits or an error on the scoreboard here, so there's no way to know whether that's going to be an error or a hit against Bracken Archibald. The ball was hit well, and he kind of had to twist and turn out there, but nonetheless, it went right off his glove out in left field, and now we'll have a runner on at second base here come in the ball game. That is going to be number 15. That's Zach Zwick will come in and run here for Tyler Cornish. So Cornish reaches, Zwick will come in to run for him. Like I said, a couple of different ways that could be ruled. That could be ruled a double in the gap or down the left field line Boy, it could be ruled, I guess you could even say an E7. Could even give Archibald an error. I think it's going to end up being a double, though, for Archibald. No outs. Here's the first pitch to Connor Halford, and the first pitch misses for a ball. It's 1-0. Nate Kiesel back to work here, working from the stretch. Bottom of the 5th inning here at Timpanogos. Kiesel ready to go. He kicks and delivers. Swung on and missed, and it's 1-1. Connor Halford wasn't behind that one too much, but just enough to miss it. Halford 0 for 1 with a ground out to short. He also lined out to short in his last at-bat. Just hit a ball right at Tanner Argyle, who is able to glove it. Here's the pitch on its way. That one's popped up. That one's gonna go foul, and it'll be 1 ball and 2 strikes to count here on Connor Halford. Infield and outfield, normal depth. The Dons playing back here with the runner on at second base. If you're Halford here, if you can get one to the right side, that would at least move the runner up probably 90 feet to third. Pitch comes in, and Halford kind of has to twist and turn out of the way, and it evens the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. In the 6th for Spanish Fork, it'll be Tanner Argyle, Briggs Newman, and Riley Daniels. Argyle, Newman, and Bracken Archibald, 2, 3, and 4. Daniels would hit 4th in the inning for the Dons. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The breaking ball is going to be popped up down the line. It's going to be Newman giving it a look, but it will go foul, and we'll have another 2-2 pitch coming. Spanish Fork wearing their black tops and gray pants this afternoon. Timpanogos in kind of the blue and green, I guess, home uniforms for the T-Wolves. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count, ready to go. Kiesel checks the runner on at second base and comes in. That one's going to be grounded over to third, and it's going to be misplayed off the glove. It's a fair ball coming around third. They're going to send him, and scoring on the play, and the ball's going to get past the cutoff man, and heading down to third base on the play is Connor Halford. So Zach Swick scores, and Halford alertedly heads up 90 feet when the relay throw missed the cutoff man, and it's 5-1 T-Wolves.
T-Wolves, Braden Millett, third base.
So the second RBI for Connor Halford of the day. And then the error will move Halford down to third base, and it's a 5-1 lead right now for Timpanogos. So not what you wanted here is to have Timpanogos in the bottom of the 5th inning be able to have an opportunity to add a run or two. But nonetheless, they've added 1, and they have another runner sitting over at third base. First pitch to Braden Millett, misses high. It's 1-0. Millett has struck out and grounded out. The Dons will bring the infield in here, looking to try to cut down any sort of run that tries to come in and score. Nobody out here, bottom of the 5th inning. Kiesel from the stretch will come home, and that one swung out and missed, and it's going to be 1-1 the count. One ball and 1 strike to count. Kiesel going to work here. Strikeout situation if you're Spanish Fork. You really need to get that strikeout or get an out that doesn't allow that run to score. There's a bouncing ball. Devin Argyle knocks it down. The runner will have to hold, and they throw Millett out at first for the first out of the inning. A nice play by Devin Argyle to kind of dive and knock that baseball down. Most importantly, though, the runner at third base, Connor Halford, has to hold up at third base. So with 1 out, here's a 2 for 2 DJ Martinez. Martinez had a single back in the 2nd, came around to score for the T-Wolves. And then in his last at-bat, he lined a double. So a big situation. Martinez was the last batter that the starting pitcher, Hayden Rainey, faced back in the 3rd inning. Kiesel from the stretch, first pitch, swung out and missed. The kind of the curveball that ended up low. Martinez swung through it, and it's 0-1. Lasique on deck for the T-Wolves. No balls and a strike here. Once again, the Don infield going to play in, try to keep that run from scoring. Kiesel comes in. That one's going to be grounded right to first. Knocked down by Newman. The runner's going to have to hold. And there's 2 outs in the inning as Newman takes it right to the bag. So Nate Kiesel coming up huge here for Spanish Fork. They've gotten that couple of ground outs, and now with 2 outs, Lasique comes to the plate. You know, you might look at it and say, well, with the way the inning was looking, to only allow the 1 run, you're probably really fortunate if you're Spanish Fork, because they had 1 run in, runner on third with less than 2 outs. And it looked like Timpanogos was going to have an opportunity to really add some runs. Tyler Cornish, it looks like, throwing down to the bullpen for the T-Wolves. First pitch, breaking ball, and it's an 0-1 count as that one gets in there on Lasique, and it's 0-1. No balls and 1 strike to count. Nate Kiesel trying to pitch out of a jam here. The 0-1 pitch on its way. Lasique right back up the middle for a base hit. Coming in to score is Halford, and it's 6-1 Timpanogos.
Now batting for the
first hit for Lasique of the day. Second time he's been on, and now Derek Aquinto will come to the plate. Aquinto had a sacrifice bunt back in the second, walked in the 4th inning, and on the mound has really been in control most of this ball game. Really, the Dons had their best opportunity to score coming back in the 5th inning. First pitch on its way here to Aquinto. That one's going to be rolled foul over by the Spanish Fork dugout. The Dons trying to find a way to come back in this one and stay out of an elimination game coming up on Monday. Working from the stretch here, Kiesel looks in, gets the sign. The 0-1 pitch misses low, and it's 1-1. Corner Canyon has added 2 more on Salem Hills, and it's 5-3, or is it's 6-3 after heading to the bottom of the 5th inning down in Salem. So the Skyhawks look to be in trouble. Breaking ball swung out and missed as Aquinto couldn't come up with the curveball there, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. A loss there by Salem Hills, to let you know what that would do. The Skyhawks would have to play an elimination game coming up on Monday afternoon at 1:30, where they would either have to play Alta or Kearns. Kearns yesterday losing to Maple Mountain, a game that you saw right here on SFCN 17 and also SFCN 16. That was a kind of a good back and forth game, played constantly in the rain, but Maple Mountain was able to score some runs late in that one to pull away 10-6 over Kearns. 2 balls and 2 strikes here with 2 gone in the inning. Kiesel trying to just get that final strike here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The pitch comes in, grounds this one right to Newman, who will go and tag first base, and the 5th inning is over. We played 5 complete here. Timpanogos adds 2 in the 5th. It's 6-1 T-Wolves. We head to the 6th after the break here on Spanish Fork 17.
In Spanish Fork, see your good neighbor State Farm agent Lance Wilson for your insurance and financial needs.
Hi, welcome to 2 Jack's Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to 2 Jack's Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet? Need a new car or truck? The Car Guys has the best selection of used vehicles at the best prices in Spanish Fork. The Car Guys know their automobiles to get you the best car for your needs and your budget. The Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork. You know Triple T Heating and Cooling, but did you know that Triple T does plumbing? From tankless hot water, soft water, and reverse osmosis drinking water systems, right down to that leaky faucet. Triple T sure does plumbing. Call Triple T at 801-798-7711 today. MVP Sports is the #1 source for sporting goods in Spanish Fork. Football, soccer, all the fall sports, we've got you covered. Check out our new custom t-shirt builder. Design at home and we'll build it for you. MVP Sports, 72 North Main in Spanish Fork.
Back here at Timpanogos, the Dons have some work to do, trailing 6-1 as the first pitch to Tanner Argyle is fouled away. And the new pitcher coming in, it's going to be Tyler Cornish, will move from first base to on the mound. It's going to be, I believe that's Andrew Lopez, number 19, coming in to play at first base as the breaking ball comes in there for a called strike, and it's 0-2. I was told previously Casey Hamilton was wearing number 19, but I didn't see any change made in center field. The 0-2 pitch comes in. That one's going to be bounced to short. Going to take a high hop. Evans plays it on the second hop, throws over to first in time to get Tanner Argyle. There's one down here in the 6th inning.
Now batting for the
and here's
Dons,
Briggs Newman.
number 14,
couple of scores to pass along. Update from Woods Cross. The Wildcats score 4 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning on 5 hits, and they take a 4-1 lead over Maple Mountain now. To give you an idea, the Golden Eagles have left 8 men on base in that ball game. So it could be Maple Mountain could be also heading for an elimination game. That pitch in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1. If that was the case, Maple Mountain would play at 4:30 on Monday, and they would play either Bountiful or Skyline. Whichever one won that, I would imagine my initial instinct would say Bountiful. Diving stop made at third by Braden Millett. He throws over to first in time, and there's 2 outs. Kind of a web gem style play from Braden Millett. We'll see, maybe we can see a Car Guys instant replay on that right there as Braden Millett just lays out, able to make the play. We won't see a Car Guys instant replay on that. But just a one-hop play, Braden Millett able to make the diving stop and then alertedly gets up, makes the throws to first, and there's 2 outs here for Bracken Archibald. First pitch, foul back to the screen, and it's 0-1. Cornish, the right-hander, working here from the windup on the mound, and the 0-1 pitch on its way. Fastball right off the plate, and the count evens up now at 1-1. Cornish looks in, gets the sign here from Jake Brooksby behind home plate. Breaking ball swung out and missed as just the curveball fooled Bracken Archibald, and it's 1-2 the count. Top of the 6th inning, 2 gone. Spanish Fork trying to start a 2-out rally here. The 1-2 pitch misses away. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Riley Daniels on deck, 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts on the afternoon. The 2-2 pitch, breaking ball just missed inside ball 3. A lot of the T-Wolves were heading off the field. They thought that was strike 3, but nonetheless the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes, the count on Bracken Archibald. Cornish ready to go on the mound. Infield and outfield at normal depth for the T-Wolves. Pitch comes in. That one's going to be lifted into center field. It's going to fall in front of Casey Hamilton, and Bracken Archibald's aboard with a 2-out single. His first hit of the ball game, and there's 2 outs. Here's Riley Daniels. Daniels having a tough day. He's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Trying to see if he can keep things going here for Spanish Fork. Running over at first base, Bracken Archibald gets his lead. Cornish will go from the stretch for the first time this afternoon. First pitch, a curveball blocked in the dirt. A good stop by Brooksby behind home plate. Not a huge backdrop here at Timpanogos High School, but the ball gets past the catcher. You're still giving him an extra base. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Cornish ready to go. Pickoff move, diving back safely is Bracken Archibald. Cornish with a little bit more of a quicker move to first base, something to keep an eye on if you're Bracken Archibald and the Dons. Fastball comes in, misses for a ball, and it's 2-0 quickly here on Riley Daniels. So Daniels having a good at-bat here, taking some pitches, able to kind of see here for Spanish Fork, really trailing by 5 here in the fifth inning, here in the top of the sixth, I mean. Spanish Fork really needing to get a run or two. Pickoff move, diving back, and just underneath the tag over at first is Bracken Archibald. It was Archibald who was on second base back in the fourth inning, and he got picked off from second base. Ready to go, the 2-0 pitch on its way, and that one's gonna be popped up, hit well, but it's straight into the air into right field. Lasique gets under it, reaches up, makes the catch, and the sixth inning for the Dons comes to an end. So we head to the bottom of the sixth inning here at Timpanogos. The Dons leave their fourth base runner on in the ball game. We head to the bottom of the sixth inning. It will be Brooksby, Hamilton, and Evans coming up here against Nate Kiesel. Let's take a moment here, though, and let's thank our sponsors for making this broadcast possible this afternoon. We want to thank the Car Guys for the Car Guys Instant Replay, Lance Wilson State Farm for the Lance Wilson State Farm RBI, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing for a Triple T Triple, MVP Sports for the MVP of the game, which will be named at the conclusion of our broadcast this afternoon, 2 Jacks Pizza for a 2 Jacks double, and SFCN 17 for the SFCN Built for Speed Stolen Base. So really shaping up around the region to be kind of a tough day for Region 8 right now, as Spanish Fork, Maple Mountain, and also Salem Hills all losing right now in the late innings of that one. Could make for a fun day if you're a fan of Region 8 on Monday, because there'll be plenty of games, but the negative side to that is you'd like them to all be at the top part of the bracket. Potentially, just taking a look at it, you could have a Region 8 team in every matchup coming up on Monday. So here it is, it's gonna be Brooksby. In fact, I'm sorry, that's not Brooksby, that's, I believe, Spencer Hamilton, that's Spencer Olson, number 5, who has the bat in his hand. So it looks like he's gonna be the guy to hit here for Brooksby.
Now batting for the T-Wolves, number 5, catcher, Spencer Olson.
They announced Olson as the catcher, and what I'm not sure of is if Olson came in. I didn't see a change in the top of the inning behind the plate, but nonetheless, it's gonna be Olson here in the 6th inning to stand in and hit against Nate Kiesel. First pitch on its way, and that one's in there low for a ball, and it's 1-0 the count on Olson. An 0 for 3 Casey Hamilton, and then a 1 for 2 Tanner Evans. And it's 1 ball and no strikes the count here as Kiesel comes in with the 1-0 pitch. High misses, and it's 2 balls and no strikes to count on Spencer Olson. Outfield playing pretty straight away. Brady Brook kind of moving between right center field and center field out there. And the 2-0 pitch bounces in there, ball 3. It's 3-0 on Spencer Olson. Timpanogos could have a region matchup if everything holds pat right now. They would have a game with Corner Canyon. In the state quarterfinals, the pitch comes in. That one gets in there for a called strike, and it's 3-1. That could be kind of an interesting matchup for them. We'll kind of see here how everything plays out. Hopefully the Dons have a rally in them in the top of the 7th inning. 3-1 pitch on its way, misses low, ball 4, and Spencer Olson's aboard with a leadoff walk. So now back to the top of the lineup it's gonna be here, and Casey Nelson coming out of the dugout for Spanish Fork. I think we're gonna have a pitching change here for the Dons. The bottom of the 6th inning, and Tanner Argyle is heading to the dugout, so I would imagine he's just gonna go and trade out gloves here as Nate Kiesel's day has come to an end, and he really, outside of the couple of runs that came in the 5th inning, did a great job here, as that's gonna be number 6, Parker Harrison, who's gonna come in. I think what they're gonna do is Harrison may come in at shortstop. Nope, I'm sorry, I'll take that back. Harrison will probably come in at first base. They'll probably move Briggs Newman from first base over to shortstop, and then Tanner Argyle will stay in the ball game and will hit. What they will do by doing that is they will terminate the DH. And so at this point, Parker Harrison is in the ball game, so the pitcher will hit no matter what, and it will hit, I believe, in Tanner Argyle's spot in the lineup. here as we just kind of keep everything all squared away. We want to let you know tomorrow afternoon, 4 p.m. first pitch from, I believe, the Spanish Fork softball complex. The Lady Dons in action against Bountiful in the second round of that one. That will be a 4 p.m. first pitch. That will be live here on Spanish Fork 17. Salem Hills has added a couple. It's now 6-5 Corner Canyon. That one in the heading to the 6th inning down in Salem. Just kind of keep everybody updated as going on. I don't have a score on the Springville or East game going on at Springville. So that would be right now, if everything stays here the way it has, that would be the opponent for the Spanish Fork Dons. It'd be the winner of that Springville versus East game. But we'll have to kind of wait and see how everything plays out. Tanner Argyle, the right-hander, throwing his warm-up tosses here. He will face Casey Hamilton, who's 0 for 3 today when we resume play here. I would imagine Argyle's probably down to, probably only has about one more pitch left. And he does. That was pitch number 8. So Argyle coming in to pitch the right-hander. Briggs Newman goes to short. And then Parker Harrison stays in the ballgame. He'll be over at first base.
Number 9, center fielder.
There's going to be a runner over at 8. Kason Cloward will be the runner over there for Spencer Olson as Casey Hamilton comes to the plate here. Hamilton is 0 for 3, went down, he has flown out to Brady Brook twice in center field and flown out to Bradford once back in the first inning. Argyle working from the stretch, takes a look into Josh Cowden behind home plate. Snap throw over to first, diving back, the ball kind of skips out of the glove of Parker Harrison. There is Cloward. Looking ahead to the 7th for the Dons, it'll be Devin Argyle, Parker Harrison, Brendan Bradford coming up here for Spanish Fork. The bunt's going to be laid back, right back to Tanner Argyle. They'll have a play at second for 1, and they'll get the lead runner there. So a nice throw down there, but they get the first out on Cloward, and now Tanner Evans will come to the plate. Evans has walked, has a single, and then struck out back in the 4th inning. So Argyle looking to try to see if he can't just retire the side here. A ground ball double play would be perfect if you're Tanner Argyle in Spanish Fork, just to try to see if you can get out of the inning and get up in the 7th and try to come from behind. Argyle working here from first pitch, misses for a ball, and it's 1-0. Double play depth as Devin Argyle and Briggs Newman at shortstop. Prepare to see if Tanner Argyle can get a ground ball double play. That one low and in the dirt for a ball, and it's 2 balls and no strikes to count. Outfield, everyone kind of playing straight up all around. Brady Brook taking a couple of steps back in dead center field. He's been busy, especially when Casey Hamilton's been at the plate. Throw over and dives back safely. Pickoff move again, diving back safely is Cloward, the runner over at first. Sorry, that's Casey Hamilton, not Cloward over there. Pitch comes in, that's gonna be bounced right to short. Newman dives, can't come up with it. Taking the turn and going to third is Casey Hamilton. Evans takes a long turn around first, but the throw comes into second, so Evans will hold. And Timpanogos has runners on the corners here in the 6th inning. And now we go back to Tyler Cornish.
Now batting for the T-Wolves, number 18, pitcher, Tyler
So Cornish has a pair of doubles on the day and also is lined out right to third base to Riley Daniels. So Tanner Argyle will go back to work. Double play still in order if you're Spanish Fork. So you'd really like to see Cornish hit a similar ball that Tanner Evans just hit, but hit it a little bit more right in the direction of Briggs Newman. 1 gone, bottom of the 6th inning. Runners on the corners for Timpanogos. throw over, and diving back safely is Tanner Evans over at first base. Argyle working here, and he comes in. Fastball misses low, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. The count here on Tyler Cornish. Connor Halford on deck for the T-Wolves. Working from the stretch, and the pitch on its way, blocked in the dirt. Ball 2, and it's 2 balls and no strikes to count. Two balls and no strikes to count. Argyle working from the stretch. 2-0 pitch. That ball is going to be lifted out in the left field. Going back on it is Archibald, still going back. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Scoring easily on the play from third is Hamilton. Evans right behind him. Here comes the relay throw, and it's going to be not in time. 2-run score, and it's 8-1 Timpanogos here in the 8th inning as Hamilton and Evans both score on a 2-run double, the third for Tyler Cornish on the afternoon, and Timpanogos has this one in full control.
Connor Halford.
And so with 2 outs, it'll be Connor Halford who has 2 RBIs on the day, 1 on a ground out, and then his last at bat a double that brought home a pair. Argyle's first pitch, and they're going to appeal the second. No, we did not, says our second base umpire, and it's 1 ball and no strikes to count. One ball and no strikes to count. Argyle takes a look out at second base. And the pitch on its way misses at ball 2, and it's 2 balls and no strikes to count. Maple Mountain has scored 2 more to come back. It's now a 4-3 game up at Woods Cross. Golden Eagles still alive. They're heading to the bottom of the 5th inning there at Woods Cross High School. 2 balls and no strikes to count. Argyle, glove on his hip, ready to go. And the pitch on its way, and that one's right on the outside corner, and it's 2 balls and a strike here on Connor Halford. Timpanogos scoring 1 in the first, 3 in the second, 2 in the 5th, and now 2 more here in the 6th to have their 8-1 lead. The Dons' only run came on a Devin Argyle solo home run in the second. Breaking ball misses away, ball 3. Adds 3-1 the count here on Connor Halford. Braden Millett in the on-deck circles, 0 for 3 for Timpanogos. Argyle's going to have to come over the plate here with this 3-1 pitch. 3-1 fastball misses high, ball 4, and Connor Halford walks here in the 6th inning. So with 2 down,
Now a bat for Timpanogos.
sorry, there's only 1 down in the inning, and Braden Millett comes to the plate. So Millett will be at the plate here with 1 gone. Argyle working from the stretch. Millett has had a strikeout and a pair of groundouts to second. Breaking ball gets in there for a called strike, and it's no balls and a strike to count on Tanner Argyle. Sorry, the count on Braden Millett. Tanner Argyle's the pitcher. That would be a little bit interesting to have him have a strike as the pitcher. 0-1 pitch on its way, blocked in the dirt. It gets stopped by Josh Cowden, and the count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. DJ Martinez on deck for Timpanogos. Here in the state tournament, the 10-run rule still is in effect, and Braden Millett represents the 10th run of the ball game for Timpanogos. It would be would give Timpanogos a 10-run lead, which would end this ball game. Swung out and missed. A great changeup there that just got Millett out in front, and it's 1-2 the count. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. But Spanish Fork would have some work to do in the 7th inning. They need 7 runs right now to tie the ball game. Argyle takes a look at the runner at second base, and the 1-2 pitch. right off the plate, ball 2, and the count evens up now. 2 balls and 2 strikes here on Devin Argyle, or Braden Millett. Runners get their leads on at first base. It's going to be Tyler Cornish at second, Connor Halford at first. Argyle takes a look at Halford at second base and comes in, checks his swing. No, he did not go, and no appeal, and the count runs full. They'll appeal now, and no, he did not, says our second base umpire. And the count goes full, 3 balls and 2 strikes on Braden Millett. Runners get their lead on at second and first base. With 1 out, the runner's likely not going here. Argyle takes a look, and the 3-2 pitch is going to be hit out into left center field for a base hit. Coming around third, they're going to wave Cornish. He will score. Going down to third is Halford, and an RBI single by Braden Millett. It's 9-1, Timpanogos here in the 6th. Halford moves to second.
Next up for Timpanogos, number 6.
And now it's 1 out as DJ Martinez comes to the plate. Martinez has 2 hits in the ball game, has a single and a run scored to go along with a double in the gap. Martinez also last time up had a runner on at third base with less than 2 outs and hit a ball right at Briggs Newman, and Newman was able to corral the baseball and go to first base. First pitch on its way to Martinez is in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1. No balls and a strike to count. DJ Martinez stands in. Ready to go. The pickoff move, diving back safely over at first is Braden Millett. Spanish Fork looking to find a way to rally. If not, they will fall to an elimination game on Monday morning. That one's going to go off the glove of Josh Cowden. Coming home from third is Halford. He will score. And moving up to second base is Braden Millett. And it's now 10-1 in favor of Timpanogos. And the T-Wolves have really added on here in the 5th and 6th inning, scoring 6 of their 10 runs here in the late innings, as Millett moves down to second base. So DJ Martinez has a 2-0 pitch. Ready to go here. Argyle will work here from the breaking ball in there, called strike, and the count evens up now at 1 ball and 1 strike here on DJ Martinez. Braden Millett gets his lead on at second base. Tanner Argyle takes a long look in behind home plate. And the pitch on its way home, low and inside for a ball, and the count evens up now at 2-2. The conclusion of our broadcast today, we'll have the MVP Sports MVP of the game, so you'll want to stay tuned for that. We'll award that here whenever this game wraps up. Argyle works from the stretch, comes in, blocked in the dirt, that gets to the backstop. And I think they're going to say it must have hit the batter because they're going to send everybody back to first. I saw it just hit straight in the dirt and go to the backstop, but they must have said it hit his foot. And so that sends Braden Millett back to second base, but DJ Martinez is aboard, and here's Blake Lasique. Lasique walked back in the second, struck out in the third, and then had a single back in the 5th inning and came around to score a run. Argyle ready to go. The first pitch, Lasique fouls that one away. And it's no balls and a strike here on Blake Lasique. We'll see who is supposed to hit. I believe that is number 19, and I believe it's Andrew Lopez who's getting loose in the on-deck circle. He's hitting now in the spot for Derek Aquinto. No balls and a strike to count. Argyle from the stretch. Takes a look in, gets the sign. The 0-1 pitch in there for a called strike, and it's 0-2 on Blake Lasique. Runners get their lead on at first and second base with 1 gone. Millett at second, Martinez at first. The 0-2 pitch on its way home is called strike 3. Tanner Argyle has his first strikeout of the ball game. And there's 2 gone here in the inning, and now Timpanogos sends the 9th man of the plate coming to the plate here, and that is number 19 coming to the plate, but that is actually Caden Walker, number 24, who is hitting in the spot here. So Walker also came into play first base. Ready to go here, the first pitch to Walker. He takes that one inside for a ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes to count. Devin Argyle, Parker Harrison, Brendan Bradford coming up for the Dons in the 7th inning. 6, 7, and 8 coming up. Josh Cowden would be up 4th, and then we'd go back to the top of the lineup. 1-0 pitch on its way. That one's hit through the left side for a base hit. Millett, the runner, there he's going to get waved around third. Here comes the relay throw. It's in on a hop, and it is not in time. Millett slides in underneath the tag, and that will end the ball game here at Timpanogos. The RBI single, Millett scores, an 11-1 final here from Timpanogos today, as Caden Walker has the RBI single in the 6th inning. We'll take a break here. We'll come back. We'll wrap this one up. We'll let you know where your Spanish Fork Dons will be playing next week. And we'll also have the MVP Sports MVP of the game. Our final score, Timpanogos 11, Spanish Fork 1 here on Spanish Fork 17.
In Spanish Fork, see your good neighbor State Farm agent Lance Wilson for your insurance and financial needs.
Hi, welcome to 2 Jacks Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to 2 Jacks Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet? Need a new car or truck? The Car Guys has the best selection of used vehicles at the best prices in Spanish Fork. The Car Guys know their automobiles to get you the best car for your needs and your budget. The Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork. You know Triple T Heating and Cooling, but did you know that Triple T does plumbing? From tankless hot water, soft water, and reverse osmosis drinking water systems, right down to that leaky faucet. Triple T sure does plumbing. Call Triple T at 801-798-7711 today. MVP Sports is the #1 source for sporting goods in Spanish Fork. Football, soccer, all the fall sports, we've got you covered. Check out our new custom t-shirt builder. Design at home and we'll build it for you. MVP Sports, 72 North Main in Spanish Fork.
Well, back here at Timpanogos High School, where the Spanish Fork Dons dropped this one 11-1 to Timpanogos in the 2nd round state playoff game. And one of those games where really, when you take a look at it, Timpanogos scored early, and it really wasn't until the 6th inning when the T-Wolves really came alive, scoring 5 runs in the 6th inning. Really up until the 5th inning, it was a 4-1 ball game where really Spanish Fork was in a position where if they get a couple of hits in the ball game, they could score a couple of runs. One of the key moments, though, in this ball game came back in that 5th inning. Spanish Fork had a couple of men on base, and they just couldn't find a way to score the base runners, and that was a situation which, to end it, Brady Brook hit a ground ball to second base to end the inning. They had Brendan Bradford and Josh Cowden both on the base pass at the time, but the ground out ended the inning, and that took a big scoring opportunity off the board for Spanish Fork. But then in the 6th inning, Timpanogos would send all 9 guys to the plate. It started off Spencer Olson, the catcher, started off with a walk. Casey Hamilton would have a fielder's choice. Tanner Evans would single. That would move the pinch runner, Kason Cloward, over to third base. Tyler Cornish delivers the big 2-run double into left center field. That brought home 2 runs. Connor Halford would then walk. Braden Millett had an RBI single. Martinez was hit by a pitch, and then Caden Walker had the RBI single, and Timpanogos takes care of business 11-1 in this ball game. So with the win, Timpanogos moves into the state quarterfinals. They will get the winner of Corner Canyon Salem Hills, and if this one holds up, they'll actually get a Region 7 opponent, Corner Canyon, the Chargers adding a couple of more runs on that. They now have a 3-run lead over Salem Hills as they play that one, I believe, in the bottom of the 6th inning down in Salem. The Skyhawks would actually, if they fall to that one, would play an elimination game coming up on Monday. The Spanish Fork Dons, they will play, though, an 11 a.m. game on Monday morning. It will be an elimination game where they will get the winner of Springville out of Region 8. They're very familiar with the Red Devils, having played them just a couple of weeks ago. If the East Leopards beat Springville, they would get the East Leopards out of Salt Lake City. So a tough one today for the Spanish Fork Dons, but nonetheless, their season will continue Monday. Their back will be up against the wall, though, in an elimination game. The MVP Sports MVP of the game today for Spanish Fork. Back in the 2nd inning, Timpanogos had taken a 1-0 lead, but then all of a sudden, some offense came from the Dons. One swinging the bat off for Devin Argyle, hit a home run to left field, and at that point it tied the ball game, kind of really rejuvenated the Spanish Fork Dons. Unfortunately, the Dons were only able to score on that home run from Devin Argyle. So today's MVP Sports MVP of the game goes to Devin Argyle for his home run to left field. Unfortunately, the Dons just couldn't quite get more offense going, especially early against Erica Quinto and Timpanogos. So the Dons will be back in action on Monday, 11 a.m. game against the winner of Springville. We want to remind you, tomorrow afternoon we'll have softball for you. The Lady Dons in action at home against the Bountiful Braves as they will try to stay on top in the winner's bracket in the 4A softball tournament. You can catch replays of this game and our many other broadcasts on our YouTube page, youtube.com/SpanishFork17, where you can catch, a football broadcast or a basketball broadcast or any of our baseball broadcasts as well. For our entire crew here at Timpanogos High School, I'm Ryan Pickens signing off. Tonight, the Timpanogos T-Wolves beat Spanish Fork 11-1.